Yeah, when I overdosed, my friend came into my room, and see, I knew I was going into an overdose slowly, but I came out of it. I tried to bring myself out of it, and she was in my sitting room, so she could hear me, and she came in, but I was actually gone purple at the time, and she laid me on the ground and put me on my side, called staff came up, and they just caught me in time, like, do you know what I mean? So they basically saved my life, you know. So, like, but before that, I've once, in my years of addiction, I've only overdosed once. Yeah, when I overdosed, I injected heroin. Yeah, I injected heroin, and my brother was there, and I'd say only for my brother I would have been dead, because the people that I was around, like, they wouldn't have, you know, they were all out of their heads, where I was only starting off, and like, you wouldn't normally usually hear of addicts starting off for the first time you with heroin injecting. You'd normally start off smoking it, and that's what I done. I started off smoking it, and then it was I injected first before I overdosed that time, when my brother did save my life, and then, yeah, the second time I injected, but the person that cooked it up was into heroin years and years, like, before I ever even heard about heroin, and so he cooked up two hits, one for me and one for him, and he injected me, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was overdosed, like, so my brother tore me up off the couch, and he brought me over by the sink and just kept throwing water, cold space, slapping the face off me. I've been around people a few times that have overdosed in front of me, and it is a frightening experience, it is, and I've often had to stay there with them and phone an ambulance. And, like, this could have been in some apartment complex, like, where we could have been up to sixth floor, and I'd have to be, like, there with her or him when they overdosed, and I'd have to run down to, because the ambulance wouldn't know where to go, what apartment complex it was. So I had to run down like 6 flights of stairs, like, when she overdosed, and I knew, like, and her sister was there at the time, and when she overdosed, like, but her sister, and I knew her sister, and I said she's going to overdose, like, it was her first time she had ever injected it into her groin, and she overdosed, and I said she's going to go, I said she's going to overdose, because I knew her eyes started rolling, and all of a sudden she was gone. And she would have been dead, like, only for me, on the ambulance anyway. So I had to run down, and a man had come out of his apartment. So he says, "Are you looking for an ambulance?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Will you please?" And I asked the man, would he please hold the door open for him downstairs? So I ran down, and I stood at the door, so they seen me, and they came up, and they saved her life anyway. And she woke up, I have to laugh this one, she woke up, like, I know I shouldn't have to laugh, but she woke up out of, she came out of the overdose anyway, she goes, "For fuck's sake," she says, "now my stone is gone," you know. And I says, "To mind your stone," I said, you were actually dead, I said, do you know what I mean? I said, "You're lucky," I said, "you're even standing on your 2 feet right now." Like, the ambulance men brought, give her whatever they do, they brought her around, and I've seen a lot of people overdose, and in here, and I've seen many people, like, being taken away in body bags out of here from overdoses, and like, I've been to many funerals from here, from good friends of mine that I've met and became good friends with in here, and got caught up in addiction, and they've died. A good few friends of mine have passed away from in here. Like, yeah, it's hard sometimes, like, I think, you know, and, like, yeah, I sometimes I sit back and I think, one night, New Year's Eve night, it would have been 2 years ago, New Year's Eve night, and I still always think of this. This man, he was from Cork, and it was 12 o'clock the night of the bells it was, and he was the first person to knock on my door to wish me Happy New Year's Eve. And I had met him again on the corridor at 2:30 that morning, and he was over in his room with a friend, and they had been snorting heroin, and he wasn't a heroin user until he was here, and he just he got caught up in it anyway, and they were snorting it that night. So his friend had left the room at 2:45 to go to his own room to get some tobacco, and he was dead. And when his friend went back and knocked on the door, he got no answer. So he had thought that he had gone into bed and gone to sleep, but he was found the next morning inside in the toilet. He was after overdosing, like he was dead within that few minutes of his friend going to his own room, across the other corridor and back. He was dead within that few minutes, yeah. So like I was thinking like, my God, if I had went in there that night for a few minutes with him when they asked me in, like I could nearly have probably have saved his life. I could have got an ambulance called straight away and they could have probably saved his life. Do you know what I mean? I always still think of that, like, and I have one or two things that were given to me in remembrance of him, because I was very, very close to him, like, yeah. You know, and he wasn't even from Limerick, like, but just when he came here, like, we just became very, very friendly and very close, you know. And yeah, it was a very sad experience for me that time now, and like, and I have a lot of friends that have passed away from overdoses and from suicide and that as well, like, I have, yeah. So it's not easy, like, it's hard, you know.
If you have in any way been affected by issues raised, please contact the Drugs and Alcohol Helpline on 1-800-459-459 or contact drugs.ie.